Hey y'all! So as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be rereading the whole Warrior Cat series as an adult. Now, if you've never seen a video of mine before, just want to say hello, welcome, my name's Hannah. I do skits and then also some book content on TikTok and on YouTube. But this video in particular is going to be a long form video. It's going to be multiple parts because if you don't know about the Warrior Cat series, it is a very, very long and still ongoing series. So a little bit about this series, if you don't know what it is a children's / middle grade level book series. I will start off by telling you just a little bit about the series and then also with my experience with it because like I said, I am rereading it. So obviously I have read this series before. Actually, I have read this series many times as a child. This series holds a very, very special place in my heart. This was the series that got me into reading. I hated reading as a child. I wasn't good at it. Teachers at my school didn't really take the time to find something I was interested in, and if you know me, I love cats. So one day in 5th grade, I picked up this book in the school library. I remember we were required to pick out 2 books every week. I dreaded it until I found this series. Let me tell you, I became obsessed with this series. Like, this is my first fandom, and if you know anything about me, I am absolutely obsessed with the Hunger Games, and honestly I think there's a pipeline between the Warrior Cat series to the Hunger Games series. I know lots of kids at school would play Warrior Cats, and like this was before I read it, so I was like, I don't know what they're doing over there. It's a very popular series, like I said, and this book in particular, Midnight, is part of the New Prophecy series. So I picked up this book and flew through it. I became, like I said, obsessed with these books. I wasn't even that good at reading, honestly, and this helped me with my reading skills because I was just so engrossed. I would spend hours upon hours upon hours reading these books and then going back and rereading them. So I'm 24 now, so it's been at least 10 years since I've read these books, probably more. So I'm excited to revisit these because I've seen online that they do hold up as you read them as an adult. It'll be fun to go back into like my childhood fandom. I do remember specifically more about this series than the other ones. I read all the way up through the 4th series, which was the Omen of the Stars series, and that was a very good ending, I think it seemed like, to my childhood reading, because the main character in the first book that the series started at dies. If you're like, whoa, what? These are books about cats? There's characters dying? I mean, this series is traumatizing, thinking back about it. But it's so good from what I just remember loving it so much. So it's very good. I know it is. And so I can't wait to read it as an adult, through an adult lens. So now that's out of the way, I will break down kind of what the series is about and then how each individual series works. So to kind of break it down for you, because there are a lot of books, I looked it up now, there are over 100 books in the series now. To kind of break it down, I have not read all of them, obviously. I stopped with the 4th subset series, which is Omen of the Stars, and I've also read some of the standalones, but obviously not any of the recent ones that have come out in the last 10 years. So I looked it up. As of now, there are 9 sub-series. I read all the way through the 4th sub-series. Each sub-series has 6 books total. So 6 books is 1 arc. There's also some manga, there's some standalones, there's some field guide types books. I actually remember the very first Warrior Cat book I owned was the Ultimate Guide. I'm pretty sure there's novellas and stuff. So as of now, there are 9 subset series, and the 9th one is still continuing. So the first book of the entire Warrior Cat series is called Into the Wild, and it's part of the Prophecy Begins series. I know I said this one was called The New Prophecy, and I started here, which I didn't know. I saw 1 and thought this must be the first book. Oh no. There are so many book 1s because they're all subsets. So Into the Wild is the very first book, and this series is by Erin Hunter. Now, from what I remember, I don't remember exactly how many authors there are under Erin Hunter, the name Erin Hunter, but Erin Hunter is not one person, it's multiple people that write this ginormous series. The ones we will definitely be focusing on, the ones I own. We have The Prophecy Begins, the New Prophecy series. The next one is The Power of Three, I believe, and then Omen of the Stars. So those are all the ones I own. I don't think all of the Omen of the Stars series. These are all the OG covers I have too, because I've seen they have new covers now, and I'm like, my childhood, no. This episode 1 of this series is going to be the longest because I'm going to explain the Warrior Cat universe and lore a little bit, so you know going into it. I obviously have not read these books in 10 years, so I don't remember exactly everything. 11-year-old me is like screaming at me from the past because I knew everything about this series. The Warrior Cat series is about clans of feral cats that live in the wild. There are 5 clans. There's Thunder Clan, which is like the main clan from what I remember, like who the POVs were reading through. Wind Clan, Shadow Clan, and River Clan are the 4 main clans to start out with. I know there's some more going on later on. We're gonna start at the basic beginning. And then Star Clan, which is the 5th one, and also the cat's version of Heaven. So Star Clan also sends out prophecies, and like they're able to communicate with certain cats. Even though this is called the Warrior Cat series, there are more than just warriors in the universe. So you have medicine cats, you have warriors, you have apprentices, you have the leader, you have all these different roles. How the naming system works. So this is off memory, okay? When you are born, we're not counting the main character yet. If you were born in the clan, let's say you're born in Thunder Clan, you are born Kit. So if, let's say, my favorite character in the New Prophecy series was called Squirrel Flight. She was my favorite character, so I'm going to use her as an example. So when she was born, her name was Squirrel Kit. And then when she got older, and then as she was training to be a warrior, she became Squirrel Paul. So if you're an apprentice, your last part of your name is Paul. So even if you're training to be a medicine cat, your last name would be Paul, which is what her sister, I remember, was training to do, Leaf Paul. If you're an apprentice, the last part of your name is Paul. And then once you get your warrior name or your medicine cat name or whatever, you get the last part of your name. Usually the leader picks it. I know there's an exception that I remember happens in the New Prophecy. So her warrior name, after she gained her warrior title / name, was Squirrel Flight. Then after that, above that, you have the leader. You have one cat that's over everybody. And if I remember correctly, you also have like a deputy. I don't think it's called... Is it called deputy? Oh my god. I cannot believe I remembered that. I just went on the Wikipedia and I was right. You also have the deputy to the leader. So they're like one step below the clan's leader. And the clan's leader, the last name is changed to Star. Can't believe I remembered that. Also, when I was reading on that, I forgot about elders. So you also have elders. So they're older cats who have survived and they are kind of past their prime. They're elders. You also have rogues, which are pretty much just feral stray cats that are not part of the rest of the clans, and they don't follow Star Clan. I completely forgot about this, but there's also the title of Queen, which is when a cat is pregnant. To go along with rogues, there are also loners, which from what I remember, loners are like the same thing as rogues. They're stray cats that aren't part of the clans. They don't do Star Clan, but they tend to be nicer with the other cats that are in like Thunder Clan, Wind Clan, all that. And then the last role that I'm going to go over is kitty pets, which are pretty much just domesticated cats. The main character that we follow throughout the first 6 books is a kitty pet to start out with. I'm pretty sure his name is Rusty to begin with, and then he becomes Firestar. Also Fireheart, which is funny because now I've read Throne of Glass, another Fireheart. But I knew the OG Fireheart. So I'm going to read you a little recap, and I was right, his name was Rusty. I'm gonna like just start remembering a whole bunch of Warrior Cat stuff as I'm going because I feel like it's still in there somewhere. The original Warrior Cat series consists of 6 books. The series was subtitled The Prophecies Begin for the 2015 reprint. The series details the experiences of a house cat named Rusty who ventures into the forest and is invited to join ThunderClan, one of the 4 groups of wildcats in the forest. Throughout the series, he rises through the clan hierarchy while attempting to uncover and later stop the treachery of his clanmate and deputy, Tigerclaw, who intends initially to usurp ThunderClan's leadership and plans to take over all the clans. Now, the next one was my favorite, even after I read all of them, was The New Prophecy, but I'll cover that later. We're just going to focus on the original 6 books of the series right now. I'm hoping that's a good recap or intro into the Warrior Cat series if you're watching this video. Remember how I said I was obsessed with the series? I named my cat, who has passed away now, I named her Midnight after this book. Now, Midnight is actually a character in this book. It's a badger, though. But This was my favorite book at the time. So yeah, and it worked because she was a black cat. So let me see if I can remember the saying. There is a saying within it. Follow the prophecies, live by the code. Warriors. Let's get into it. Reading time! Now, if you see cat stuff behind me, I did not put that there for this video. That actually is one of my cats I had named Snowball. So I told you, I love cats. Which is one of the reasons why this series made me cry as a child, and I'm sure it will again. Because characters they die in this series. Oh, and also, I forgot about this. At the beginning of the book, they give you a breakdown of like who's in what position. And it gives you like what the cat looks like. And then you also have a map. My love of maps and books started here. And then here's all the clan symbols. ThunderClan was my favorite. And then we also have this map. I don't really remember why. Oh, okay, I remember why. Because this is the cats map, like the warrior cats map, what they call everything. And then this map is the humans version of it. And they have like a little key over here too, but I don't give a shit about the humans. Prologue. Finally, I will stop rambling. Just read the prologue, so I forgot that they also have different names for the seasons because they're cats. So they have New Leaf instead of Spring. I love these books. I will always love these books. I'm just trying to get out of the headspace of like, this is odd, I'm reading about talking cats. It sounds ridiculous if you're talking about it, and as I'm reading about it, but once I get back into the groove of it, I think I'll be okay. But right now I'm just trying, it's just like, these cats talking about like warring clans and stuff, but I know people are talking about how like the adult messaging in it and heavy stuff is in these books, and I remember it. But just reading it and then like what I remember is just it. I don't know how to explain it. I think I need to think of it like Fourth Wing. The dragons are talking. They talk to their people. So this is just kind of like that. And as I'm reading, I barely started and I'm remembering things that happen. So spoiler, even though these books have been out almost as long as I've been alive, the main antagonist isn't called. Right now he's Tiger Claw. He was Tiger Star at one point. I know. Because I read the New Prophecy first, I knew Tiger Claw was the bad guy. So as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that you don't know at the beginning who the bad guy is. I'm reading the prologue, and I was thinking, oh, this must be when Tiger Claw is trying to take over or whatever. No, this is when they're just fighting a different clan. They're just fighting River Clan right now, the prologue. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. You didn't know that. I wonder what that was like as a kid reading this and then having this character that, from what I remember, I don't think they got along. Like Firestar and Tiger Claw got along, but having like a betrayal within your clan and having that revelation as a kid. I mean, I already knew because when I read it as a kid, because like I said, I read the second one first, so I already had that spoiler. Yeah, I'm just remembering stuff and what's going to happen. Part of me is also like, you're gonna die. And it's already nostalgic. Now we're in chapter 1. I remember there was an animated clip of this scene right now when him and Smudge are talking and he's about to go into the woods, I guess for the first time. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm gonna post a clip of it.
Hey, where are you off to, Rusty?
Hello, Smudge.
You're not going into the woods, are you?
Just for a look.
You wouldn't get me in there. It's dangerous.
Their friendship is starting here. Okay, that's kind of... The lore of the Warrior Cat universe is starting. Oh, I forgot about this. Two legs are what they call humans. I forgot. It's another cat lingo that they call us two legs. Okay, I changed because the outfit wasn't very comfortable to just sit here and read in, so same day. Literally like 5 minutes apart. They have their own universe, like lore and words for things. Even their measurements. Her face only a mouse length from his. Like the measurements, and then they're talking about him going to the cutter, which is the vet. I remember when I first read the New Prophecy, when I first read Midnight, I was very confused because, I mean, I was on the second series, but I was confused on what a monster was, and I couldn't picture what they were talking about. And what they were talking about was a construction machine, like it was like a backhoe or something like that. And they call them monsters. I'm pretty sure they call cars monsters too. And then I finally figured it out with context clues. They're talking as like humans and stuff, obviously, but they have their own words for stuff. You haven't yet been taken by two legs to see the cutter. Yeah, Blue Star gravely. He hasn't got fixed yet, is what they're talking about. Also, while I'm reading this, he's wanting to be in the wild. He's wanting to be a warrior. But just as a human myself, who's had many cats, and loves cats, I can't help but feel for the two legs, because he's just gonna disappear and they're not gonna know what happened to him. I mean, obviously he's out here living his best life, like that's what he wants to do, but it's just thinking about, like, they don't know where he went, they don't know if he's safe, they don't know what happened. Yeah, but just thinking about it from the human's perspective, like, they don't know that there's, I mean, they probably know there's a bunch of, like, feral cats out there. They don't know they have a whole fucking society of, like, hierarchies and religion. You know, I like to think that. I like to think that the feral cats out there, they're just living their best life. They've got clans, you know. They're living their best life. At moon high, so midnight probably, Lionheart interrupted his thoughts. Come, Blue Star, let's not waste any more time here. We must be ready to join the other patrol at moon high. You know, honestly, I would rather have the warrior cat system going on right now. I would rather have Blue Star, a literal cat, be the person in charge, or the cat in charge, than the orange PDF file that's in there right now. Before someone comments, reading is a political blah, blah, blah. If you voted for that, man, I don't want you here. And reading is political. Even books like these, they are political. This is how they call a meeting. Let all those cats old enough to catch their own prey join here beneath the high rock for a clan meeting. I remember that. I think this character that just got entered, I think Ravenpaw, I'm pretty sure I remember him. He died in a battle. Oh no. Remember how I said characters die in the series? Yeah, I'm on chapter 3. And then the last line of chapter 3 is, Redtail is dead. I'm pretty sure I remember Oakheart gets accused of killing Redtail, but it ends up actually being Tiger Star, or someone that's with Tiger Star, if I remember right. Like I said, I'm like remembering stuff as I'm going. I want to see if I'm right, if I'm remembering right. Okay, I remember this. I'm remembering this now too. They bring the deceased warrior back, and then they all share tongues with him one last time. Oh wait, there's literally a line about it. Yeah, I was right. It says right here, his spirit may have left to join Star Clan, but the clan will share tongues with Redtail one last time. Star Clan, Firepaw echoed. It's the tribe of heavenly warriors that watches over all of clan cats. You can see them in Silverpelt. Firepaw looked confused, so Greypaw explained. Silverpelt is that thick band of stars you see each night stretching across the sky. Each star is a Star Clan warrior. Redtail will be among them tonight. Even like that, they're staying with him too. I forgot about that. They stay with him throughout the night. Certain ones do, like depending on how close you are. Because Firepaw asked, how long will Blue Star sit with him? And he's probably the whole night, replied Greypaw. Redtail was her deputy for many, many moons. She won't want to let him go too quickly. He was one of the best warriors. Okay, I just remember something else too. I'm pretty sure Tiger Claw kills Spotted Leaf, or Spotted Leaf dies. I'm probably just gonna keep saying, like, I think this happens because I want to see how much I can remember as this is going. If you just change a couple words, this could be in any adult book. It could be about any person, like any human. The other cats retreated and watched as their leader crouched down to share tongues with her old comrade one last time. You just change that. The other people retreated and watched as her leader crouched down to speak with her old comrade one last time. Okay, we're seeing now that, if you hadn't read out of order like I did, that Tiger Claw is gonna be the antagonist because how he's treating Ravenpaw here, which is his apprentice. I don't know if I've already said this, but I'm pretty sure that Ravenpaw knows. I think he tells Firepaw and Greypaw. Tiger Star's the one that did it to Redtail. I'm trying to remember everyone's names. I can remember all the main characters' names. This is the first book, and I love how much detail they're putting into the clan's rituals and like just the life there. After the prologue, I've gotten over the weirdness of having to read through a cat's perspective. I'm back into it now. I love like all the little details. I love good world building. You know how I said I was not good at reading? I did not know how to say apprentices. I didn't know how to pronounce it in my head, so I just sounded it out. And I read it as appreciates for the longest time until I learned what the actual word meant. But in my head, I was like, well, it makes sense. I remember actually thinking this. I'm like, Well, they have to appreciate they have to appreciate what their mentor is teaching them. So it made sense in my head why they were called appreciates, okay? I just realized I filmed that part vertical. I went, ate dinner, and then came back. So I put my phone back up and I just wasn't thinking, and I was doing it like I was gonna do a TikTok, and I put it vertical. Sorry, but the rest will be horizontal. I'm thinking now I may remember Ravenpaw going off with like one of the loner cats living somewhere else because he leaves the clans and everything. Am I remembering that right? Here's some more warrior cat lore slash traditions that they do, world building. So they're asking, because Redtail's died, when Blue Star will appoint a new deputy, because Redtail was her deputy. This one elder says she'll need to make up her mind quickly. According to clan custom, the choice has to be made before moon high after the death of the old deputy. And now I shall name ThunderClan's new deputy, Blue Star continued. I say these words before the body of Redtail, so that his spirit may hear and approve my choice. I remember that too. We got some rivals to lovers going on here. I know Sandpaw does not like Firepaw, and I know they end up together. But my love of enemies to lovers slash rivals to lovers started with Brambleclawed Squirrelpaw or slash Squirrelflight, because I remember that from the new prophecy. Those are like the main characters, two of the main characters. So many clans, Firepaw exclaimed, and so well organized, he added to himself. It is well organized. I forgot about this, but now I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. The Thunder Path, which is roads. They call cars monsters. I mean, because they are for cats, I guess. But yeah, I remembered that. I did not remember Thunder Path. That's what the roads were called. But I remember the cars were monsters. Yellow Fangs here. I think I remember some stuff about it. I know she has her own superset book. I know I read it, so I don't remember if what I'm remembering happens in this series. I think I remember her and Firepaw have a relationship, not like a relationship, but like a mentor-mentee friendship thing. She does come back to ThunderClan, maybe? That's how she comes back. She comes to ThunderClan at one point. She joins it. I need to look up the order I should read the books, because there are novellas and supersets, and I do own some of them, and I know I did read them, but I know Yellow Fangs is a prequel, and so is Blue Stars. When this edition I have was published, only the first 4 books have been published. Y'all, don't worry about my headphones. I'm having to borrow my brother's computer because mine just decided to not work to edit this video. And as I'm waiting for something to load, I decided to look on the Warrior Cat websites, and they have merch now. And not only merch, they have like stuffed animals and figurines. Look at this. Do you see those? I am unironically very tempted to get those because they're from the new prophecy, and those are my babies. and they would look so good on my bookshelf. I'm so tempted. If I should get them, comment telling me to get them. Because unlike when I first read this series, I am an adult with adult money who likes to spend my adult money on fandom shit. And if I'm back in my Warrior Cats era, oh my god, the headphones, these aren't even mine. You know what, maybe it's a good thing this wasn't around when I was in my Warrior Cats prime, because I fear this is all I would have asked for birthday and Christmas. And I say that like it's a bad thing. You know what? I'd still have it. If I had this when I was a child, I would still have this stuff. It's not like I would have got rid of it. But honestly, if this video gets 10 likes, that's all. 10 likes. I will buy the figures from the new prophecy. So, just hit that like button real quick. I will buy them. I have finished book 1 of the Warrior Cat series. I am genuinely enjoying this, and it's not just because of the nostalgia aspect of it or the loyalty I have towards the series, because it's what got me into reading. I was at the gym and I had like 4 chapters left, and I was like, I can't wait to get back and keep reading. So that's a good sign. I will say that stuff does happen a lot quicker than I remember. So as I'm reading, more and more stuff is starting to come back to me, and the amount of plot and stuff that goes down in this book, I don't remember happening all in book 1. So it seems like it's going really fast. I am proud of myself for remembering some stuff. I had a couple things like that were jumbled in my head. I was trying to remember, when did this happen? What did this happen? I know something like this happened. And then as I'm getting more and more back into it, I'm like, oh yeah, this happens and this happens. Like, I remember Ravenpaw, them having to hide him away because of Tiger Claw. And I don't remember that happening in book 1. I don't remember Spotted Leaf dying in book 1. I thought that happened later on. It just happened so quickly, and especially the end of this book, it's insane how much stuff goes down in the last few chapters. I mean, coming from someone who's read Sarah J. Maas, like, stuff goes down in the last 100 pages. You just know that going in. But the amount of stuff that goes on at the end of this book is crazy. I would say if this was a book for an adult audience, I would probably be like, this happened too quickly, and I wish we had more time with the characters dealing with their grief and dealing with all that emotional trauma, and having more than one chapter dedicated to certain, like, they had a whole rescue mission going on, and I feel like it lasted like a chapter. But I'm thinking of that as if I was reading an adult fantasy book. But because this is geared towards younger audiences, I think it's written like that, and I didn't notice it as a child because kids have shorter attention spans, and so they're gonna be like, I want this happening, like, I want to go from this, this, and this. I don't care if they want to deal with their grief, like, for 4 chapters like you might have in an adult fantasy book. But because this is geared more towards a younger audience, I think that's why it happens so quickly. But looking at it as an adult who's reading a book geared towards younger audiences, I think it works fine. And I didn't notice that as a kid. I don't remember it feeling like it happened too fast. It's just surprising how much happens in this book. I was remembering plot points like I was saying, and I thought this was going to go on throughout the arc. Nope. A lot of the stuff I remembered happened in this book. And I'm like, what stuff do I not remember happening is gonna happen in the other 5 books of this arc? Like I said, I'm actually really excited to continue this series. I think even as an adult, if you have never read these books and you were like, you know, I saw a lot of people talking about it, or I remember hearing about them when I was a kid and I never did it, I honestly think you would still enjoy it. I mean, you do have to go in thinking some of the dialogue is a little more kid-friendly, obviously, like how it's written. I was surprised on the amount of bigger words that were used. Like, they didn't try to dumb it down. I mean, some of the dialogue is a little more Disney-fied, but I mean, obviously the subject matters sometimes is a little dark. This is why it's so hard to categorize what age group this is for. I was at Half Price Books yesterday. They had warrior books in the YA section, but then you go to a different Half Price Books and they're at the kids section. So it's just, it depends on probably the kids' maturity level and their comfort level. Like, I was reading this when I was in 5th grade, and I saw, when I looked it up, I was like, what age level is Warrior Cats? And so I saw somewhere, it was like the Common Sense Media website or whatever, people were saying 11 and up. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that, because you would think if this is children's books, it would be, oh, an 8-year-old could read it. Maybe, but there's also a lot of violence in these books. Now as an adult, I'm really appreciating the world building that's going on in it. This is a really great, I think, introduction book for the amount of lore and world building you get within the series. It doesn't overwhelm you, but you do get a lot of information on how the clans are working, and I mean, specifically ThunderClan because that's where we're at, but you get a lot of information, but without it being overwhelming, and you know that your perspective is just going to grow and grow and grow as the character learns more. Fantasy books sometimes struggle to do. They do like info dumps, and this one doesn't do that. It feels more natural because Firepaw is learning, or Fireheart now at the end, as the reader's learning. So I really appreciate that. This is coming from someone who has actually never read the Harry Potter series. Don't come for me. I think adults who could read that series for the first time as an adult are the same adults that could read this series for the first time as an adult and still enjoy it, just like they still enjoy Harry Potter. Seeing the new covers made me be like, nostalgia, these covers aren't in print anymore. I honestly like these covers better. So that is my thoughts on the end of book 1. This is really gonna put me ahead on my reading goal on Goodreads. So yeah, I have started my reread of Warrior Cats now as a 24-year-old. I can't wait to get into book 2. Book 2 is called Fire and Ice. This one's actually a little bit longer than book 1. Part of me is glad that I can't remember a lot of stuff because I get to like re-experience it almost. But I'm also enjoying that as I'm going, I know where the story arc is going a little bit. It's like I'm dusting off the cobwebs in my mind. Like, all this information is still in my head and I love that. I just have to, you know, kick off some dust and then I start remembering. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you didn't, oh well. But if you did like this video or you like my other content, make sure to like and subscribe because it does help a lot. If you've watched this to the end, thank you. If you were here for my skit content and decided to start watching this video, thank you again. And I will still be posting my skit content on the shorts, but I also decided to start doing some long form content. So this is my first dip into a long form series. Because I've never done videos like this before, I'm interested to know if you enjoyed this video, what other stuff would you want me to talk about or kind of go over in these videos? What would you want to see this series kind of progress into as I'm rereading this massive series? I will make a playlist of this entire series of me rereading the Warrior Cat series, and it will be in a playlist right here if you want to click that. And this is a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Hopefully it's right. So if you want to give that a watch too, I'm going to get back to reading now.